Evelyn Hawkins, a woman of modest appearance, walks into a prestigious beauty salon in New York, brimming with hope for a special transformation for her son's wedding. Her simple dress and tired face stand in stark contrast to the luxury of the environment. As she approaches the reception, the young stylists eye her with disdain, whispering biting comments about her worn-out clothes. Evelyn tries to brush it off, but the stifled laughs and condescending glances make her feel smaller with each moment. "How can I assist you?" a receptionist asks with a fake smile, examining Evelyn from head to toe. "I'd like a hairstyle and makeup for my son's wedding," Evelyn responds, her voice trembling with anxiety and anticipation. "Are you sure you're in the right place?" one stylist mutters to the other, not bothering to conceal the sarcastic tone. Evelyn feels her face flush with shame. She watches the well-groomed clients around her, all receiving treatments with smiles and friendly chatter. In contrast, she feels invisible and unwanted. One of the stylists finally calls her over, but his tone is cold and impersonal. He fusses with her hair disinterestedly, casting disgusted looks at his colleagues. "Perhaps it's best to try another place," he finally says, dismissing her as if she were a nuisance. Humiliated and devalued, Evelyn stands up, her hands trembling as she tries to maintain her dignity. With tears in her eyes, she leaves the salon, vowing never to return. The cold air of the street offers a chilling solace as she walks away, her hope shattered by the cruelty of strangers. She navigates through the bustling streets, reflecting on how cruel judgment based on appearances can be. Each step echoes her renewed determination. No one will ever make her feel so small again. Walking the bustling streets of New York, Evelyn tries to dispel the lingering humiliation echoing in her mind. The distant sound of a siren fills the air, but it's a faint cry for help that catches her attention. Coming from a dim alley between two imposing buildings, the sound is almost drowned out by the city's hustle and bustle, but enough to divert Evelyn from her path and investigate. As she approaches, the sight before her makes her stop in her tracks. A woman lies on the ground, her elegant attire stained by the dirty concrete. The woman's face, pale and contorted in pain, reveals the seriousness of her condition. Evelyn, without hesitation, kneels beside her, checking if she's conscious. "Ma'am, can you hear me?" Evelyn asks, her voice steady despite the panic starting to set in. Getting no response, she quickly grabs her phone and dials for emergency services, reporting the situation accurately while keeping a gentle hand on the woman's forehead, trying to offer some comfort. "Please hurry. She's unconscious and may be seriously injured," Evelyn speaks to the operator, her gaze never leaving the woman's face. As she waits for the paramedics, Evelyn looks for something to stabilize the woman. She removes her own jacket and carefully folds it, placing it under the stranger's head. The sound of sirens draws closer, and Evelyn feels a wave of relief, seeing the emergency team rushing toward her. "I found her like this," she quickly explains to the paramedics, who immediately begin to attend to the woman. "I don't know what happened to her." The paramedics work efficiently, stabilizing the woman before carefully lifting her onto the stretcher. One of them, noticing Evelyn's emotional state, gives her a brief nod of gratitude. "You did well to call so quickly," he says, before following his team back to the ambulance. Evelyn watches as the ambulance disappears into the distance, feeling a mix of worry and hope. She knows she did everything she could, and for a moment forgets her own pain, comforted by the action she took to save a life. Taking a deep breath, she turns to head back home, the weight of the day beginning to weigh on her shoulders, but with a newfound resolve to face the challenges that still lie ahead. Several weeks after the incident, Evelyn still feels the bitterness of humiliation as she walks back to the salon. She is determined to voice her discontent and ensure that no one else suffers the same treatment. The cold city air hits her face, but it's nothing compared to the ice in her veins as she opens the salon doors once again. The manager immediately recognizes her as she enters. With a forced smile, he approaches. "Mrs. Hawkins, what a surprise to see you again. How can we assist you today?" he asks, his voice laden with superficial courtesy. Evelyn stares at the manager firmly, her words ready. "I'm here to discuss how I was treated the last time I was here. It was unacceptable, and I demand an explanation." The manager sighs, crossing his arms. "Mrs. Hawkins, I'm sure there must have been a misunderstanding. Our staff is trained to offer only the best service." "Misunderstanding?" Evelyn raises her voice, attracting the attention of some customers and stylists. "Being humiliated and ridiculed is a misunderstanding? Being treated as if I don't deserve to be here is quality service?" The manager, trying to keep calm amidst curious looks, responds, "Perhaps you misinterpreted our staff's humor. They have a rather particular sense of humor." "That's not humor. It's cruelty," Evelyn retorts, tears threatening to reappear, but she holds them back. "I hoped that by coming back, someone here could admit the mistake and apologize." The manager, realizing the situation could escalate, tries to appease it. "Why don't we sit down and discuss this privately?" Evelyn shakes her head. "There's nothing more to discuss. I came here to see if there was any decency left in this place, but I see I was mistaken." With that, she turns to leave, each step resounding firmly on the marble floor. At the salon entrance, as the door closes behind her, Evelyn's breathing becomes heavy. She feels the weight of the battle she just faced and the defeat that came with it. However, before she can fully walk away, a voice calls out to her from the salon entrance. At the salon entrance, an elegant voice interrupts Evelyn's departure. "Ma'am, please wait." The woman calling her is none other than Melissa Grant. Still looking refined and wearing an impeccable outfit, she rushes up to Evelyn with a concerned expression. "Evelyn, right? I wanted to thank you personally. You saved my life that day." Melissa's voice is warm, but there's a tremor of something more, genuine concern. Evelyn, surprised and a bit wary, responds cautiously. "Yes, it's me, but I didn't expect to see you here or anywhere." Melissa notices Evelyn's hesitation and invites her back into the salon, this time for a glass of water and a moment to rest. Evelyn, still shaken by the previous treatment, firmly declines. "No, thank you. I would never set foot in that place again, not after how I was treated." Intrigued and visibly concerned, Melissa insists, "Can you tell me what happened?" Evelyn, though reluctant, decides to tell the whole story, describing every humiliating detail of her visits. Melissa's expression shifts from concern to indignation as the narrative unfolds. "I am the owner of this salon. I was absent, recovering. I had no idea such things were happening here." Filled with a sense of justice, Melissa takes Evelyn's hand, and together they enter the salon. The owner immediately summons all the staff for an emergency meeting. With Evelyn by her side, she confronts her team. Who here humiliated this woman, this lady who helped me when I needed it most? The ensuing silence is heavy, laden with tension and guilt. One by one, the staff members lower their gaze, unable to respond. Faced with the silence, Melissa makes a firm decision. Anyone who treats our customers with disrespect has no place here. She announces the dismissal of those involved in Evelyn's humiliation, reinforcing a policy of respect and professionalism that should be the backbone of her business. After the meeting, Melissa turns to Evelyn, offering not only an apology but a promise. "I will ensure you are treated like the queen you deserve to be. This will never happen again in my establishment." Moved by Melissa's courage and integrity, Evelyn feels a spark of hope and a glimpse of justice, marking the beginning of a new era for the salon and a new chapter in her own story of reclaimed dignity. On her son's wedding day, Evelyn returns to the salon, transformed under Melissa's new direction. As she enters, she is greeted with a warm smile by the owner, who personally guides her through the salon, now a welcoming and respectful space. "Let's make today about you, about your beauty and strength," Melissa says, leading Evelyn to a beauty station where the top stylists await her. Evelyn sits, still somewhat hesitant, but the gentle hands and encouraging words of the stylists begin to soften her defenses. As they work, they converse with her not only about hairstyles and makeup, but about her hopes and the joy of the upcoming event. "I never thought I'd feel welcome here again," Evelyn confesses, watching her reflection begin to transform before her eyes. "You have always been welcome," Melissa replies, observing the transformation. "And I'm sorry I wasn't here to ensure that from the start." As the transformation completes, Evelyn barely recognizes the radiant woman in the mirror. Her hair, perfectly styled, frames her face, now illuminated by makeup that enhances her natural beauty. The stylists, with a final approving look, offer Evelyn an elegant dress chosen especially for her. "You look stunning," Melissa says, genuinely impressed, ready to show the world the amazing woman you've always been. Leaving the salon, Evelyn walks with a newfound posture of confidence. Arriving at the wedding venue, she is greeted with admiring looks from friends and family. Her son embraces her, tears in his eyes at seeing her so vibrant. "Mom, you look wonderful," he murmurs. "Thank you for being so strong, for always being our inspiration." The wedding is a blur of laughter, tears, and dances. Evelyn, amidst it all, feels a peace she hasn't known in a long time. The night culminates in a silent dance between mother and son, a moment of deep connection. "You made all of this happen," he whispers. Evelyn smiles, knowing that this day marked not only her son's union, but also her own redemption and renewal. She, who spent her life working as a cleaner and putting in extra hours to raise her son and provide him with the opportunity to attend the best schools, and now, finally, married. She couldn't help but be stunning on such